The coin in your image is a 1947 Canadian 1-cent coin, also known as a Canadian penny. This coin is a fascinating piece of mid-20th century Canadian numismatic history, produced during a transitional period in both world affairs and Canada's own national development. Below is a full, long-form exploration of this coin's background, design, production context, and numismatic significance, intended to fill around 30 minutes of reading time. Canada 1947 Canadian 1-cent coin, full historical and numismatic detail. The 1947 Canadian 1-cent coin represents more than just a small denomination in Canada's currency system. It is a snapshot of a moment in history. Struck shortly after World War II, this coin reflects a time when Canada was solidifying its identity as a nation, both politically and economically. The year 1947 was also significant due to changes in the British Empire and the role of the monarchy, which directly impacted Canadian coinage. Millions of these coins were struck, yet various small design differences make some varieties highly collectible today. The obverse front of the 1947 Canadian penny features the left-facing portrait of King George VI, who was a monarch of Canada from 1936 until his death in 1952. His image appears on all Canadian coins minted during this period. The inscription around the portrait typically reads, George of 6D, G, Rex ETIND, Imp. This Latin phrase translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King and Emperor of India. However, this was the last year the specific legend appeared, because in 1947, India gained independence from Britain, and as a result, the title Emperor of India, IMP, became obsolete. This political development prompted changes in subsequent coin issues. Because of this, some 1947 coins were struck with a small maple leaf beside the date, indicating they were made using outdated dies in 1948, awaiting new dies with an updated inscription. Your coin shows a small maple leaf next to the date 1947, identified as a 1947 maple leaf variety. The reverse side of the coin, the one shown in your image, displays a pair of maple leaves on a single twig, which have become an enduring symbol of Canadian identity. This design was created by George Edward Kruger Gray, a British artist who was widely employed by the Royal Mint and known for his heraldic and symbolic designs. At the top is a denomination, 1 cent. Below the leaves is a year, 1947. Beneath the date is the name of the country, Canada. The designer's initials, KG, appear to the right of the leaves. This clean and iconic imagery remained on Canadian pennies for decades and was beloved by collectors and citizens alike. The use of the maple leaf symbolizes Canadian pride and nature, a motif that has remained on Canada's national flag and coins to this day. The 1947 Canadian 1-cent coin was struck with the following physical specifications. Composition: 95.5% copper, 3% tin, 1.5% zinc. Diameter: 19.05 millimeters. Weight: 3.24 grams. Edge plain smooth. Mint: Royal Canadian Mint, Ottawa. Mintage: approximately 46,995,000 for the maple leaf variety. Due to the high copper content, these coins tend to develop a rich patina or turn brown over time. Some examples remain reddish in mint condition, called red by collectors, and these are especially valuable. The 1947 maple leaf variety exists because new coinage dies had not arrived in time to reflect the change in royal titles after India's independence. The mint struck some coins using the old 1947 dies, but added a tiny maple leaf next to the date to signify they were actually minted in early 1948. Varieties within the 1947 maple leaf cent include blunt 7 versus pointed 7 in the date, doubling or die errors, differences in the strength or position of the maple leaf. Some of these varieties are highly sought after, and prices can vary dramatically depending on the specific version and its condition. Canada in 1947 was a country in transition. Post-World War II economic growth had begun. The nation was building its own identity apart from Britain. The Statute of Westminster, 1931, had laid the legal foundation for Canada's legislative independence. In 1947, King George VI signed letters patent that gave the Governor-General the ability to act in many roles of the monarch, reinforcing Canada's autonomy. India's independence in 1947 reshaped the British Empire and directly impacted Canadian coin inscriptions and minting practices. Thus, this coin is part of a historical moment when Canada was redefining itself as a modern, independent nation. The value of a 1947 Canadian 1-cent coin depends on several factors. Condition. Coins in uncirculated condition can fetch significantly higher prices. Variety. Certain rare varieties like the .7 or unusual die errors are prized. Color. Collectors classify coins as red RD, red-brown RB, or brown BN. Red examples are worth more. Grading. A coin graded MS65 or higher can be worth many times more than a circulated example. Circulated example, 10 cents to $2 CAD. High-grade red uncirculated, $15 to $75 CAD or more. Rare varieties or certified coins can exceed 100 Canadian dollars depending on demand. Though Canada discontinued the 1-cent coin in 2012 due to rising production costs, pennies like the 1947 issue remain cherished by collectors. They tell a powerful story about the evolution of Canadian national identity, economic development, and the role of monarchy. Today, numismatists study coins like this not only for the monetary value, but also for the way they capture history in copper and zinc. Collectors often seek full-date runs or coins with historical significance, and 1947 is a key transitional year that bridges old imperial ties with the dawn of Canada's post-war independence. The 1947 Canadian 1-cent coin is more than a small, brown piece of metal. It represents the rich tapestry of Canada's post-war identity, the waning influence of the British Empire, and the evolution of the monarchy's role. Its design, the iconic twin maple leaves, remains one of the most enduring images in Canadian numismatics. Whether found in a drawer or preserved in collector's case, this coin continues to hold historical, cultural, and monetary interest nearly 80 years after its minting.